There's nothing scarier than that time in your life when your body's going through those big changes. You become stronger, you start growing hair in places you didn't have it before, and then you finally shred your chrysalis to become the true fly man that you were meant to be. It's okay, this is totally natural. Don't be afraid.
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Today's movie's gonna make puberty seem like a walk in the park, and we're talking about the gross out David Cronenberg film, The Fly. Let's enter the tape tube. What's good, dudes, dudettes, fellow tapeheads, and VHS scumdogs? I'm Larry Downs, and welcome back to the Tape Tube, a weekly segment where I set my money on fire and buy new horror tapes for my ever-growing VHS collection, and I get to talk about my favorite movies with you. So if you like this movie or any of the other ones that we talk about, make sure you leave a comment down below telling us what you think about this movie or something that we should talk about in the future. But anyway, today we're talking about the David Cronenberg reboot of the popular Vincent Price title of the same name, The Fly. Both are fantastic in their own way, but per usual, Cronenberg took the idea and cranked it up to 11, to the point where Vincent Price said that the movie was really great, up until a certain point when it crossed the line. Let's see what all the buzz is about. Let's roll The Fly. At a Meet the Press event hosted by Bartok Science Industries, our main test subject, an eccentric young scientist, Seth Brundle, played by handsome Jeff Goldblum, very smoothly introduces himself to journalist Veronica Quaife, played by a not yet Beetlejuiced up Gina Davis, who promises her that he has. After he takes her back to his apartment, he unveils to her the project he's been working on. Two cool-looking sci-fi pods that are prototypes for a teleportation device. After showing Ronnie that it works, but only with inanimate objects, she is amazed, so she works with him in secret to progress the project for exclusive rights to the story. As Seth and Ronnie start to develop a romance, Seth thinks of a way to reprogram the telepods to understand living tissue, and while alone, decides he's bold enough to use himself as a test subject. What could possibly go wrong? As he successfully uses the telepods to transport himself, he misses one minor detail, being a small fly that has landed in the pod with him. This confuses the computer and ultimately fuses Seth Brundle's DNA with the fly. At first, things seem great. Seth is stronger, he can think faster, and overall feels like the breaking down and recreating of matter in the teleportation process not only works, but makes you a better human. This is the beginning of the downward spiral for old Seth as weeks go by and he slowly starts to lose pieces of himself. Literally. And transform into one of the grossest looking monsters we have ever seen in cinema today and transport us through this horror classic that's sure to make your skin crawl, or fly, or fall off. The Fly is a movie that we would put into the body horror subgenre. These are movies that use grotesque or disturbing images of the human body that usually include mutilation, mutation, or stuff that usually happens just in your nightmares. Things that when you watch, you grab onto that particular body part like, ooh, and this movie does it in spades. Warning, this movie is freaking gross. It's super nasty watching Seth's body transform and deteriorate over time. But somehow, someway, you can't look away. I cringe every time I see someone pull their fingernails out in a movie or something along those lines, and we see old Brundlefly definitely do that. But that's not where it stops. We got finger pussing, fly puking, teeth tossing, eye popping, skin tearing. If you're a normal human being, this movie's sure to at least turn your stomach one time. This movie has it all. Top-notch practical effects, a really well-written dramatic story, and a gross out factor that won't quit. There's no doubt it's right up our alley, so of course it's flying its way into the tape tube. Some interesting facts about The Fly. Michael Keaton and Mel Gibson were both considered for the role of Seth Brundle in this movie. I don't know what Keaton was doing, but Mel Gibson turned down the role to play his part in Lethal Weapon 1. And thank God, because I couldn't imagine the Road Warrior taking on the role of Seth Brundle or not having Jeff Goldblum's performance at all. In an interview with Sinister Image, Vincent Price once told the story about how he once received a letter from Jeff Goldblum after the film was made saying, "I hope you like mine as much as I liked yours." And Vincent replied saying, "I thought the movie was wonderful up to a certain point, and then it crossed the line." Back in the day when Martin Scorsese first met David Cronenberg, he laughed, telling him that he looked like a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. So, Cronenberg actually gave himself a cameo in this movie as the Doctor. Thank you all once again for tuning in and watching another episode of The Tape Tube. I'm your host, Larry Downs, and if you liked this video, make sure you give us a like or a comment below, or even subscribe to our channel so you can see more episodes of The Tape Tube, or other stuff like our sister series, Airlock Shock, starring Nick Haskin, where he talks about his favorite sci-fi movies. Or you can catch us multiple times a week on our live stream, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch under Nightmare Fuel Streaming. We play some of the hottest horror and sci-fi games, or just hang out with you guys, the viewers, where you can chill, tell us our opinions are wrong, but you like us anyway. Check out our Instagram page, also under Nightmare Fuel Streaming. I post goofy pictures on there all the time about the toys I get, the new tapes I get, or just general things that I feel like recording at that particular time that I think will be funny. If you have a movie that you would like to see me talk about on the Tape Tomb, let me know in a comment below and I'll do my best to scrounge around for it, find it on eBay, and set my money on fire so we can talk about it in an episode. Once again, I'm your host, Larry Downs, and this has been The Tape Tomb. Stay spooky, my friends, and we'll see you in the sequel.